Hello there. Hello. I'm James Arnold Taylor. I'm the James Arnold Taylor JAT man. And this is my podcast. Talking to myself. Hey, how's it going? I'm Obi-Wan Shnobi, Gobi Bobby. Billy, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. I'm doing stuff, Mr. JAT, man. Just JAT. TAJ. What'd you say? What I said? Okay, all right.
Are you done?
What? Hey, whoa! What do you like sneak up on people like that?
You're doing your version of me.
No, what? No, it wasn't that.
You kind of admire me, Hank, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about. Admire nothing. I was making fun. I was doing a little mic. Whatever. Yeah, you got me.
All right. Okay. Come on. You think I'm not bad, right?
Whatever. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Should we get everybody in here? Hey, Billy.
Oh, yeah, yes, Mr. James, yes.
Just James.
Mr. James, Sir James a lot.
Okay. Billy, have you had a good week? Did we have a good time in Ontario?
Well, I don't know, because actually we haven't even gone yet. Because you're recording this episode before you actually go there, but you did an episode that just came out yesterday.
Okay, slow down. That's right. It's Tuesday, May 14th right now, but this won't come out until next week on Monday, but I will be gone. I'll literally be flying through the air on a big airplane coming home on Monday after being in Ontario, California. Everybody keeps thinking when I say I'm going to Ontario, they think I'm going to Canada. No, I'm going to Ontario, California for a Comic-Con Revolution. It's a good name. That's a good name for a con, isn't it? And I will be with all my Clone Wars castmates, Dee and Ashley and Matt, and then there'll be other folks from Rebels as well, so that'll be fun. Vanessa and Taylor and Tia and Steve, I think, is there. So I don't think Freddie's there. I think Freddie canceled, which is a bummer. But anyways, so I haven't been there yet.
No, I know, Mr. James, but I was trying to kind of play along with the illusion.
Oh, the illusion. Okay. The illusion, because when people are hearing this, I'm already on my way home.
That's right, Mr. Sir James a lot. Yeah, James.
Okay, just James.
Whatever.
Okay. And Hank?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Why are you so jumpy? I know the microphone's set up now because you were in here doing your little pre-JAT show setup there.
Yeah. You're good. Hello.
Stop it. Stop that. Okay. Well, then let's bring in Mr. Announcer Guy. Let's get the show started. Let's just get right to it. Come on, man. We got a lot to do. Let's go. Hey, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yes, James.
Ooh, hello. You having a good one?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing super fantastic fine.
Super cool fine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
It's just fun to do, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, can you start up the thing? Hey, Jerry the Music Man, give us some music and start the thing.
That's my line, man.
Oh, sorry.
Cue that music, Jerry the Music Man.
You got it, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Talking to myself, the JATcast man.
Yeah, man.
On today's show, JAT's gonna... What are you gonna do?
Oh, I don't know. We'll just talk.
JAT's just gonna, I don't know, just talk. Here he is, the same guy that's doing all the voices you're hearing, including this one, James Arnold Taylor.
Yeah, we didn't discuss what I'm gonna do yet. I never know.
It's amazing you've gotten through so many shows not knowing what you're doing.
Well, I've gotten through life not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
You got it. I'm going to go now.
So dramatic. I wish I could be that dramatic. Well, I guess I kind of am, aren't I? Welcome to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Just me in a little padded room talking to myself. That's why the show is called Talking to Myself. Although we tend to call it the JATcast now, which is kind of nice, but because JAT, J-A-T, I did a thing this week for 10,000 heroes. Go to 10kheroes.com to get more information. It is for a cure for childhood leukemia and lymphoma and blood cancers. And they are finding treatments that are better than this adult treatments now through a pill that they are trying to, and they're trying to get funding. And so we did, all the voice actors kind of came together. And my friend Colette Sunderman, who I spoke about on a couple shows ago, was in charge of that with Joe Sikta, who is actually a cancer survivor himself. And Joe is a very talented writer, producer. And I worked with him on Scooby-Doo and stuff. And we love Joe, we love Colette. And they put together a 24-hour telethon with all the biggest names in voiceover, and I was very blessed to be included in that list, humbly included in that list of folks. And I recorded a little 12-minute video that was a tour of my studio, and you may have seen it on my Instagram. I posted it on my Instagram later. But if you get a chance and you are looking for things to donate to that are a good thing, boy, is that a great cause, helping with childhood blood cancers and lymphoma and leukemia. And so it's 10kheroes.com. The number 10, the letter K, and then heroes.com. So check them out, 10K Heroes. You know, their goal was 10,000 heroes, 10,000 people to donate $100 each to reach their goal of $1 million for this research. And I don't know how close they got, but I donated, other people donated, a lot of voice actors donated. And look, I do not talk about how much I give. I try to do the biblical thing of not letting my right hand know what my left hand is doing, but I did do it. I presented a matching thing on that because I wanted, a lot of times, see, when all of us, pseudo-famous people get up there and we go on telethons or we go on things where we're saying, hey, donate. I want to make sure everybody knows we're not just saying that, we're actually giving to the cause as well. So I did a matching donation for up to 10 people there, and that was great. I'm always happy to do that. And so I pray and hope that they got some good stuff. But that was good stuff. And so thanks, Colette. Thanks, Joe, for what you're doing. And thanks for all of you, anybody that went and checked that out or donated at all. Please, we really, really appreciate that. So welcome to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Do you have your water? Let's play. Hey, play that little sounder there, Billy. I'm asking Billy because, Hank, I don't trust you.
What do you mean?
Well, I ask you to touch. Okay, go ahead and hit the button, Hank, for the water.
What, you mean this one?
No. Why do you always choose that music? That music just makes me laugh. It's funny. But no, hit the step. Billy, help him out.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. James. Yes, it's this one right here, Hank.
Oh, that one right there. I didn't even know that button exists. Okay. That's nice.
Would you stop? Come on, stop it. Just hit it once.
Oh, just once. Okay, just once.
Thank you.
It's time to drink some water. That's good water.
That is good water. Are you drinking your water? Are you breathing deep? Are you listening to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast? Well, yes, to all of those, right? It's good to be back. Good to be here on the podcast. I want to update you on so many things, but I also thought, let's do something we haven't done in a while. A lot of people love this guy. You know him, you love him as the guy that is the voice of sanity on the James Arnold Taylor Podcast, the voice that does the intense Barbara Walters style big interviews with the JAT man himself, JAT, James Arnold Taylor, that's me. Let's bring in Reginald. Don't call me Reggie. Hey, Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Come on in here. Right. Stop it. Just call me Reginald. All right, just call you Reginald. I'll call you just Reginald. Just Reginald. Just Reginald. No, just call me Reginald. Reginald, right. Don't call me Reggie. Wrong. Oh, wrong. That's funny. Okay, good. How are you, Reginald? Don't call me Reggie. Now, stop it. I'm very well. How are you? I'm doing very well. So I thought that maybe what we should do is have you interview me. We've been doing a lot of episodes where we are taking people's questions and comments from YouTube and Instagram and all of that. And I love that. And I think we'll get to some of those still in this episode. But for now, Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Stop it. I just wanted to have you ask me some questions and we'll do like a little interview. So whatever is on your mind that you want to ask me, go ahead and ask me. Right. James. May I call you James? Yeah, you can call me James. You can call me JAT. Just don't call me late for dinner. Right. Anyways, tell me about your film, Hidden Blessings. Well, Hidden Blessings is a movie that I did that is about, it's really kind of the prodigal son story from the parable of the prodigal son in the Bible. But it's, what if a documentary crew was filming one thing and captured the story of the prodigal son while they were recording this other thing. And it's taken off, and we are looking like we've got a distribution deal that's going to be coming out very soon. Still no word yet that I can say, but we are so close, and it's going to be worldwide, and people will be able to see it. And that we're very excited about. Right. I can say this, James. Yes, Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Stop it. I can say I've seen the film. You have? Oh, yes. Right. And I think it's wonderful. Oh, well, thank you very much, Reginald. I really appreciate you saying that. That means the world to me because you're kind of, you're a big-brained guy. You're smart. You know things. You've got an accent. Just because I have an accent does not mean that I'm smart or have a big brain, as you say, although I am quite intelligent. Right. Stop it. That's my line. Sorry. The film is getting high praise. It's winning awards. You've won an award for Best Actor. Yes, I did, and I'm very flattered by that. That was the We Regret to Inform You Film Festival. Grayson Barry and I was very blessed to have won Best Inspirational Film and Best in Fest, Best Actor. I was very, very pleased to get that. And then we've won awards as well. It's the Neves International Christian Film Festival, Waco Film Festival. We are nominated there, selected, selection, and then a couple of other festivals that, and we're still waiting to hear on some of the other festivals. So it's going very well. The film is getting great reactions from people, and they really enjoy it. And so I can't wait for everybody to see it. And so be watching for it soon, everybody. Right. I can't wait to hear what people think about Hidden Blessings. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Right. So, what is happening on the Comic-Con front? Well, on the Comic-Con front, we have several shows coming up. I can't always say where I'm going next because I don't know which ones are announced yet or not, but we were just in Ontario. Not really, but I'll be there. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Right. We're pre-recording this for those that don't understand what he was mumbling about there. Well, yes. Okay, fine. Yes, we're pre-recording this, so I haven't actually been to Ontario, California yet, but I'm sure Comic-Con Revolution is going to be a fantastic show. It's Saturday and Sunday. It's 2 days only. And so we've got that one. And then after that one, I don't remember where there's one in Nashville. So, I don't have to go far to go to that because, I'm here. Right. So Nashville Comic-Con comes up next. That one is when? I believe that is June 1st and 2nd. So if you're in the Nashville area and you want to come see me and Matt Lanter, we will be there. And I believe, though there may be some other Clone Wars folks there too. I don't know. I can't say yet, but there may be. So we'll see, because that one's coming up next after this one. And then we have some other ones coming up, but I don't know if I can say anything about those yet. But I will say this. The Comic-Cons are fantastic. If you happen to go to a Comic-Con that you love on a regular basis, tell them that you want James Arnold Taylor to be there. I've said this before, but yeah, just let them know. They can contact CelebWorks because I can't people just go, oh, you should come to this show. It's like, I can't. Right, because you're not the one. They have to invite you. That's correct, Reginald. Don't call me Reggie. Stop it. They have to invite me to the show. So the Comic-Cons need to get word from fans of that Comic-Con that these are the guests you'd like to see. There was one that posted recently on their social media, who would you like to have as a guest? And I was hoping, because they've given me an invite. I haven't, we don't know if it's happening yet. And they posted one, who would you like to see at our show? And I was hoping at least one person would say, oh, JAT, James Arnold Taylor. Nobody did. They posted every possible voice actor except me, but it was, but that's fine. It's fine. I love going to the shows because I love meeting you all. And if I've met you at a Comic-Con and you're listening to this show, God bless you. Thank you so much. It's always such a joy to get to meet everybody and hear everybody's stories. Right. Because what you hear when you go to these shows, people come up and they tell you stories about how whatever it is you were in, be it Johnny Test or Fred Flintstone or Obi-Wan Kenobi or any of your characters, and how that made an impact in their life at one point. And what you do is what? Well, I don't know what. Well, what I'm trying to get at, and if you were more online with me here, you would see what I'm getting at, James, is how does that affect you the way when you were younger? And okay, I get it. Yes. So when I was a kid, I watched cartoons and movies and things, and they inspired me. And I always thought, if only I could meet my heroes and say thank you. And so people get to come up and they get to meet us and they get to say thank you. And that's really special. And what I have to tell you, I can't speak for every celebrity, because I know some people say, oh, I had a bad experience with a celebrity. I hope everybody has a good one with me. I want you to know, like, if I could spend a half an hour with every person, I would, because I enjoy hearing your stories. I enjoy being a part of it. But, people are great because everybody realizes there's long lines. And so I try to give everybody, 3 to 5 minutes. I ask questions and then I kind of break the ice. And then I try to let you, if you come to see me at a show and you have questions for me, just start asking me questions. You can just, right off the bat, because I'll probably say, are you having a good time? Have you been to this show before? Are you from this area? Those types of questions. Those are my icebreaker questions. Right. So you're setting it up to say, look, I'm a real person. We'll just have a conversation here. Exactly right. Because I'm signing usually like an Obi-Wan Kenobi pop box and with my paint pens and all of that jazz. And I'm doing all that. And I'm talking and I'm writing and I'm asking questions. So you all can always ask me a question. Oh, James, I mean, most people end up asking you, what's your favorite character or all of that. And that's fine. But, we all kind of know those questions. So if you got good questions for me, you come up and you just ask old JAT a question. It'd be great to see you. I hope I get to see some of you that are listening to this at a Comic-Con soon. Right. Very good. All right. So then let's ask about what? Well, I don't know. You're the one asking me the questions. Right. Is there anything you'd like to say that you haven't said on the podcast already? Well, that's why I brought you on, Reginald, because you come up with the questions and then I answer the questions. Right. I have no more questions for you. Okay. What is your favorite color? Oh, come on. What is your favorite food? Oh, please. Okay. My favorite color, I like blues. Blues, man. Now, when I was a kid, I really liked red. But now I like blues. Look at that. I've gone to the light side from the dark side. Yes, I can't. Red's not my color. Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Right. Stop it. So I should interview Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right, you should interview Obi-Wan Kenobi. Listen to that. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi being interviewed by Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Stop it. It's just Reginald. Right. Stop it. It's just Reginald. And then this is kind of fun. I like, what if we bring in Ian McKellen or Plo Koon or one of those?
Right, very good, yes. Hello there.
No, that's my line. I say hello there. You say Koto Ya.
Very good, yes. Koto Ya, Reginald, don't call me Reggie.
Stop it. It's not Reginald, don't call me Reggie, Koto Ya. It's Koto Ya, Reginald.
Right, Koto Ya, Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Oh, I can't not say it as well.
Right, it's very addicting. You have to say, don't call me Reggie. I know exactly right. You have to say, Reginald, don't call me Reggie. You can't just say Reginald. It sounds weird. You always it's like you're leaving them hanging. Very good, yes. Hello there, Reginald, don't call me Reggie.
Koto Ya, Reginald, don't call me Reggie.
Stop it, all of you. Stop it. It's just Reginald. Okay, sorry. This is kind of fun, though, having everybody asking you questions. Then I got all the different various British accents all in one place in my brain. So people ask me when I'm doing this show, do I do it live or do I voice the characters and then cut the characters? No, I do it all live. So I'm just switching back and forth. So if I'm talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi, hi, Obi-Wan. Hello there. How are you, James? I'm doing well, Obi-Wan. And then if we wanted to talk to Plo Koon.
Koto Ya, James. Yes, how are you?
I'm very well. And Reginald? Stop it. Yeah, okay. So I just flip back and forth. I see the character in my head, and then I just talk to them. I am looking at the reflection in the mirror, or not the mirror, in the glass of the window in my booth right now, kind of at myself when I go to talk to one of my characters. I've noticed I turn and I look at the reflection. But so anyways, letting you all in. All right, Reginald, you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi here, you've got Plo Koon here, and you've got James Arnold Taylor here. Is there any questions you've always wanted to ask all of them? Right. If you were to have any other color than blue for your lightsaber, Obi-Wan, what would it be? Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, yes. Hello there. Very good. Yes. Well, I suppose it would probably be perhaps even a darker shade of blue or green, because green is another good, friendly lightsaber color, isn't it? Right. Reginald, don't call me Reggie.
Stop it.
Let me flip the table there. Flip the script, as we say. What would the color of your lightsaber be?
Intriguing. I would have to say a two-tone.
A two-tone? Wow, a two-tone lightsaber. What do you mean by that, two-tone, Reginald? Would you have half of it that, or like the bottom half one color and the top half another color, and it kind of blends in the middle?
Right. That's good, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking like one side all the way up and one side all the way up another color. So you have the light and the dark together, because each one of us has good and bad within us. And so I feel it would be appropriate for mine to be both colors.
So you would have like blue and red or green and red on one?
Right, yes. I believe so.
Well, that makes sense, because sometimes you're a nice guy and sometimes you're not.
Stop it.
I do agree with James on that. Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Oh, Master Plo, do you have something else to say about that?
Yes, in regard to that, I would say, not to me.
Oh, that's the big famous line. Plo Koon says, so a lot of times when I'm doing the signatures at the Comic-Cons, I will have people come up and they'll bring a Plo Koon pop, or they'll have sign one of the 8x10s of Plo Koon. And that's the quote that people like the most, is not to me. Because you remember in the first episode there where Plo is there with the Rise of Malevolence and with the clones. And, they say, we're just clones. Nobody cares about us.
Not to me, Master Plo Koon says.
And it's a powerful, powerful moment. Because here's what I love about Jedi Master Plo Koon. Reginald, I've kind of hijacked your interview.
Right, go ahead. Fine, go ahead.
Okay. Is because, Plo Koon's in the room. Come on, man. I got to ask him a question. I don't know if I've ever really interviewed Plo Koon on the show before, have I?
I don't believe I've ever been interviewed on your show, no.
All right, well, very good. So, Jedi Master Plo.
Yes?
I find it's a very powerful moment because it says how we are all, like the humanity of us all, right? The fact that every person matters, no matter what. And that is certainly what we believe here at the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Every person matters, and that every soul is redeemable, and everyone has a purpose and a goal and a story to be told. And that's what Plo Koon was saying to those clones, because even though they're clones, they were living, breathing creatures that, were on the good side of things, until Order 66 happened, but we don't know about that.
What do you mean, Order 60 what? Yes, what is this Order 66 you speak of?
Oh, nothing, guys, nothing. Sorry, didn't mean to bring that up. So you would say, so that's why, to you, Jedi Master Plo Koon, every clone mattered.
Yes, indeed, yes, they're all important, and they all mean something. And Master Obi-Wan Kenobi would agree, would you not?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And I think we find that out later on in some of the episodes as well with Jedi Master Obi-Wan. It matters to him when a clone perishes for the good of the cause. Absolutely. Well, Reginald, we've kind of taken and hijacked your interview with me. Is there anything else that you want to ask Obi-Wan Kenobi or Jedi Master Plo Koon before they leave?
Right. Yes. What is your favorite color?
Oh, all right. Stop it. Okay. Thank you, Jedi Master Obi-Wan.
Yes, may the Force be with you, always.
Thank you, Jedi Master Plo Koon.
Kotoya. The Force will be with you, always.
Oh, very good. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, Reginald, we've had a good time answering some questions here, some in-depth questions, not really, but
stop it.
Yes, about James Arnold Taylor. I don't know. Are there questions that people would want to ask me? Should we see? Let's take a look and see. Let's go to the YouTubes and see what people said on this week's episode of Talking to Myself. Noah Steinecker, 5506, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name properly, Noah, says, I have a fun story for you, Jat. I'm filming and editing a serving video for my church, and I needed a voiceover for it. So my church let me use their professional recording booth. It was really cool being able to use the things that I've learned from your channel about voice acting. And of course, I made sure I had my water when I was recording too. A little smiley face. The voiceover I did probably wasn't perfect because I'm new at this, but watching you on your channel, I think has helped me out a lot. You're such a great person, and I hope only the best for you. God bless. Well, thank you, Noah. That is so nice of you. And I'm so glad you learned something from watching stuff at the old JAT channel here. Yeah, the JAT channel. So Reginald.
Right, yes.
Ask me this. How did I learn? What was the best way I learned about voiceover and all of that?
Right. Okay. James.
Yes, Reginald. Don't call me Reggie. Stop it.
What was the best way for you to learn in your process as a young man learning voiceover and such?
Oh, great question. Thanks for asking. I think the best, the stuff I've learned before, and I've said this before on the show, is when I was a young man and I was learning voiceover and I was working at the radio station when KTYD 99.9 in Santa Barbara, California, my hometown, growing up. I would go in and I would watch the DJs do their shows and I would watch them. And so Noah has watched stuff on my videos and learned about voiceover and some of the little ins and outs. Sometimes that's the best way, is to just take it in. Absorb as much as you can about what you love. So whatever it is you're passionate about out there today on the James Arnold Taylor podcast, whatever it is that you have a passion about, learn it, watch it, know it, absorb all aspects of it, and then aspects that fall just outside of it. See, so I learned recording and such because, a lot of DJs and a lot of voiceover people don't know much about the recording aspect of all of it. But I believe it benefits you to know as much as you can about that, know more than you want to know, right? So I wanted to know about voiceover, but I also thought it's going to behoove me, I like to use the word behoove, to know about the recording and everything, because then I can do more, see? So whatever it is, if you're a writer, then learn about all sorts of things, the computer and the programming of all of those things. Editing, the process of editing and fine-tuning and storytelling, all those things. If you're a musician, you want to learn about the music, but you want to learn about the recording. You want to learn about songwriting. You want to learn about tones and sounds and sound absorption and diffusion and all those things, because all of it is going to help you, right? So learn as much as you can and watch as much as you can from people that you respect and know, and take those things in the best you can. And that is going to be one of the ways that you can do it. So let's see. Oh, Darth Crust 66 says, "The chosen dude." Well, okay. Cha-Cha Love 6307. Cha-Cha Love. I like that. Cha-Cha Love 6307 says, "Hello, Ratchet." And then a little smiley face and some little hearts. That's very nice. Hello. I love Ratchet. Don't you love Ratchet? I hope that they bring Ratchet and Clank back for another game. Have you played Rift Apart? Have you played the Rift Apart? I think it's a fantastic game. Jennifer Hale does a wonderful job playing Rivet, the alternate universe version of Ratchet. We had so much fun, and David Kay and myself and Jennifer and so many other folks in that game. So I hope that Insomniac brings Ratchet and Clank back for another game soon. I feel like it'd be great. So, okay, let's see. Meteorcentric says, "I'm drinking from a smart water bottle that I refilled at the fridge and let sit until it's room temperature. So basically, artificial intelligence water." Okay, AI water. All right. Well, yeah, thank you, Meteorcentric. Okay, but look at this. Oyvinator, Oyvinator says, "Oh, sorry, I'm having cold carbonated kind of water that has been sitting in a jar for like 2 to 3 months with some other ingredients." Oh, so you're having a soda of some type or something. Oyvinator. Is that what that is? I don't know. Okay. So those are some of the comments on this week's episode of the JATcast there on the YouTube channel. And there's many others, and I thank you all for putting your comments and questions. If you know what we need to do soon, I need to do another post on Instagram saying, "Hey, if you have any comments or questions for me for the show, then leave them here," because the old one, it's now there's so many there, but it's so far back I'd have to find it. But let me see. Hey, Bob, the comments guy. Oh yes, James, and doobity-dee and doobity-doo. Bob, you know Reginald. Don't call me Reggie.
Stop it. It's just Reginald.
Oh, yes, Reginald. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You just called me Reginald.
Oh, yes. Well, your name is Reginald, so I thought, of course, I would just call you Reginald.
See, Bob gets it.
Well, Bob's your uncle. Okay, never mind. That's not what... But, Bob, I'm wondering, can we find that post where I asked everybody to put their questions for me on there? Oh, let me see. Can I see your phone? Okay, yeah, there you go. Oh, thank you. And what is your passcode? No, here, I'll use my face. Do you like the face thing? I don't know if I like the face thing. It reads my face. Sometimes if I'm wearing my glasses funny or I'm not looking right at it, it doesn't recognize my face right. And so there you go. There it is. Ask or write your questions and comments here. Oh, look at that. There's 243 of them now. Woo, doggy. Oh, and doobity-dee and deebity-doo. Okay. Thompson Cook .05 asks, what is more difficult to work for? Voiceovers for film or video games? As well, what was the biggest hurdle you had to face when voicing Ratchet? Oh, okay. Well, we're talking about Ratchet. Biggest hurdle for voicing Ratchet. Well, we'll work backwards. Biggest hurdle for voicing Ratchet? Gosh, the thing is Ratchet is my regular voice. And some of what was the biggest hurdle on these last ones is they kept having me pitch my voice up higher. And I think because they felt I'm older now, they thought that maybe my voice was sounding older in resonance. So they were having me go up higher to do Ratchet. And if you listen to the first time I voiced Ratchet, which was 20 years ago, boy, I'm old. My voice was actually, I think I did Ratchet probably right down about right here. So it was actually a little bit deeper. But in this last game, when I was doing Ratchet, I was doing it more up here, and so I think because they figured, well, James is getting older and all that. So it was probably making sure that the voice is consistently me, which is just me. It's just my voice. But that was maybe the biggest hurdle. There's not a lot of hurdles with Ratchet and Click. I love doing them. There are great people there. We have a fun time doing it, and I hope we get to do more of them. But what is more difficult to work for, voiceovers for film or video games? Well, certainly video games are more taxing vocally. They take more time. I was actually in the studio today voicing a video game, and it was a quite pleasant one. But I can't say anything about it at all, but I will say I really enjoyed working with the director, who's a great guy. I cannot say who it was though, because I can't talk about any of it, but I was voicing a game, and it was not a difficult thing at all. I will say this, the more video games are becoming more cinematic, which they really are. So many of them have these cinematic scenes in all these movies, these clip scenes, that it becomes easier. It used to be, so back in the day when I first was voicing video games, it was just more of like you'd sit there for hours on end just reading lines. They were really kind of basic lines because they had to fit within a sample rate that they had of time because, the computer can only do so much. There was a lot of technical issues with it. Nowadays, they can pretty much just they're like animated movies, right? And not even animated. They look so real. They're like photorealistic movies now in these video games. So now when I'm doing it, it is much easier, and it is more like working on a film. So the lines are being blurred more so in a good way, right? But generally speaking, video games are more difficult. They're more difficult on your voice and all of that, but they're getting better. And films are becoming fewer and farther in between doing those. So there you go. Thompson Cook .05. What else you got, Bob? Oh, yes, it's from Ma Livon. Mahlivanh. Malavan. I don't know. Maybe that's how you say it. So Malavan asks what? Oh, it says, yay, this will be fun. I would want to ask for some actor advice. I'm about to graduate with a theater degree, and I would love to get a few jobs in animation VO, but haven't been able to take any workshops specifically geared towards voice acting yet. I'd like to know how much of a theater guy you are, but was wondering if you had any tips on the differences between a theatrical performance reel versus a voice acting reel. Okay, theatrical versus voice acting reel. Well, so theatrical, everything is bigger, right? You have to project and use your theater voice. You want to hit, as they say, the back of the theater walls. You want to get it, all the folks sitting in the back seats there. And you enunciate a little differently. So if you're doing a theater production, everything is a little bigger. It's a little broader. It's a little more there. Voice acting nowadays, because usually you're in this little room and it's very intimate and you can talk like this very intimately and you can tell a story that way. You certainly couldn't do that on the theater, even if you're mic'd, which, a lot of stage productions and stuff, they mic people now. So if you're doing a demo reel for voiceover, you basically just want it to sound as though you're really pulling clips from either a commercial or an animated thing or whatever it is you're working on. You want to have different types of reels. You want to have a commercial reel, a promo reel, an animation or a character reel, or you could have an animation reel and a character reel that shows your various things. There's so much about that, and that's a whole other thing. But the differences between it, I don't know what your theater reel would look like. I guess it would just be clips from stage of you doing the parts. It's the same basic concept. You just want clips of you performing highlighted moments to show that you can do those things. So when you're putting together a voiceover reel And let's say it's for commercial. You want to show that you can be a regular person. Hey, Bob, how's it going? Oh, great. Have you tried this product? No, whatever. You're just telling a story, but you're doing it in a very casual way. If you're being the announcer in that, you want to be able to talk a little bit more like an announcer, and you're wanting to tell people, hey, this is a great product, and this is why you'd want to buy it. And you still want to sound kind of conversational nowadays, but that would be the tone. If you want to do something that's bigger and broader, and you do this, or you're doing a character in there, so theater is just more about, I don't want to say it's more about acting, but it's more about showing the acting beats that you would do on stage. Voiceover is more about showing the varied types of voiceover there is and hitting those beats and the way that you would do it. But all of it is acting, okay? It's just a different form of acting. Just like on camera versus theater versus voiceover. Each one of them is acting, and it's all about knowing your acting and your acting beats, but they're different, if that makes sense. So with voiceover, all you have is your voice. And so everything has to come out of it that way. So I don't know if I answered your question at all, but I hope maybe. But if nothing else, you got your name on there and your question answered, okay? That was 15 weeks ago, so that this person asked this question. So what else we got, Bob? Oh, yes, and doobity-dee. Alex Form Mason says, hey, James, I really admire and respect your work. Well, thank you, Alex Form Mason. I always wanted to get into voice acting myself. How would I be able to find open auditions for small roles? It seems like such a closed community. And do you have any advice for beginners? Here's the thing. I don't really know. You got to remember, everybody, I'll be 55 in July. I'm 54 years old. I've been voice acting for 38 years. I've been working in voiceover and radio and comedy and performing as an actor for 38 years of my life. And what worked back when I started is very different than what would work for all of you now, because we're all in such a different world of social media and TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all these different things. And our attention spans are different. Everything's different. The way that we read things. Look, when I was starting out, announcers were more like Mr. Announcer Guy. They would tell you information in this way. They would over-enunciate everything and make sure that you could understand everything. And quite frankly, I think that makes more sense. But then as I got older, it became more of this kind of casual guy, and he was just telling you a story, but he still had kind of an announcer voice to him, right? And then when we got into the 90s and the early 2000s, everything was just this kind of hipster, cool, kind of grunge dude. And then it became this. And then slowly it's devolved into this kind of thing where now there's really no mic technique or anything to it. I find when I hear announcers, it's almost like it's not mic'd the same way. It's not acted the same way. It doesn't sound. If I'm being completely honest, folks, I feel that most of the commercial work voiceover I hear sounds like somebody trying to be a commercial voice actor. It's what it sounds like. And it's like, and some of it is AI now even too, which is scary. So as far as advice for beginners, be a great actor. Be a great actor and then know what your voice can do and what your voice can't do, and stay within those boundaries of it, and don't stress it if it can't do other things. You do not have to be somebody that does a million voices.
You don't have to have a big range of all of this
and all of this and all of that and all these different things. You don't have to be everything for everybody. You have to be you, and you have to like your voice and be really good at you, okay? And understand the process of acting. Telling a story and trying to connect. So when you get on that microphone, you are connected. So when I'm in here in my little padded room talking to myself, recording this podcast, I am literally talking to one person, and that is you, the person that's listening to this right now. I'm having a conversation with you. I realize that it's thousands and thousands of people, different people listening, but I am thinking about you individually, and I'm trying to talk to you, and I'm trying to tell a story to you however I can. When I do my characters, I have them relate that same way, and I try to fully immerse myself into that character. So if it's Bob, and doobity-dee and deebity-doo, I think of Bob, and I say those little words, and it makes me think of Bob, and I just think, well, exactly, how would Bob want to say these things? Or if I'm doing Reginald, don't call me Reggie, stop it, I would think the way that Reginald would want to answer these things here, you see? So how would each of my characters want to do that? I just try to become them. So a good actor, a good character actor just tries to become that character.
So sometimes if I'm working on a voice or a character, or I'm doing something, I will think in that voice as well. So if I'm thinking, well, I want to do a British voice, and if I'm sitting around in the kitchen, or standing, I should say, in the kitchen, I wouldn't be sitting in the kitchen, I'd be silly, right? I'd be in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for my meal later. I would talk to myself in this character's voice, and I would think, well, just how is this character, as opposed to if I'm James, sitting in the room, cutting vegetables and thinking about my day. It's different than if I'm doing this fellow right here, because this fellow right here is thinking, I believe I'll have my little vegetable stew or a little shepherd's pie. Yes, and shepherd's pie sounds delicious. Yes, wonderful. I'll cook that at that temperature there. I'll put that on, preheat the oven and all that.
I'm thinking what that guy would do, right? But if I'm James, I'm just thinking, okay, I got to cut these vegetables. I got to put those there. And then I wonder what my wife is doing. And I'm going to call her. And, so you become each person. Just be an actor. Allow the characters to overwhelm you and just become them. And if you're just you, then think, how would I respond to this? How would I read this? How would I be that? Don't know if any of that helps you at all, but that is really the best advice I can give any of you that are all, how do you become a voice actor? How do you look? I can't tell you how to become a voice actor because there are so many different ways to do it nowadays. And there's so many people trying to do it that it's hard to get your foot in the door. Look, I got to be honest. I don't work as much as I used to anymore because there's so many people and there's so many talented people doing voiceover now. And there's AI taking over for us. There's all sorts of stuff. There's so many different challenges that a young person starting up in voiceover has to deal with that I suppose I still had to deal with those problems growing up, trying to get into it. But the pool was a smaller pool of people, but you still had to get in and be part of that group, right? And by the grace of God, I became part of that group. So believe that you can do it. Be passionate about it. Let your acting be your acting and absorb everything you can about voiceover. Know the ins and outs of all of it and the recording process and all of that. Again, people like my friend James Younger Audio, go to James Younger Audio. He has classes and things and you can teach and you can subscribe or you can learn from him rather. And you can take those types of things. There's plenty of places you can take classes. You can learn about it. But the biggest thing is watch and absorb and take in everything you can. Okay? And just be a sponge for it all and enjoy the process of acting. Voice acting. We call it voice acting, and we used to call it voice over. I like to say voice acting because voice over means you're just a voice giving a monotone information over pictures and things that are happening. And that becomes, even though there's an art to that, there is a true art to good voice over. People don't respect it. So we say voice acting now so people actually believe, oh, that's right, they're acting. And we still have hurdles to get through with that. But okay, so get your resources in order. Find out as much as you can. Check out every little link you can. Go to my website. Look at that. Go to D. Bradley Baker's website. iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. Go to Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt's website and read their book. Buy their book. Buy their book. Okay. Support people that are small businesses, and they are a small business trying to do their own thing too. And they wrote a book called Voiceover Voice Actor. You can go to voiceovervoiceactor.com. And there's even a little blurb, I think, in the latest version of that book by me, by JAT, James Arnold Taylor. So study and love the craft of voice acting. Voice acting is beautiful because it can be just me in this room telling a story. But if I put a voice to it, right? Now all of a sudden, and I add some music, little sound effects there. Now I can say, you shall not pass! We can be anything in this little world within our mind. In a world, we can be anything within our own mind's eye. So just remember that, okay? It's all at your fingertips. Hear it, practice it, record yourself as much as possible, listen back. Get advice from other people. Do I sound like I'm doing a character? See, that's the one thing a lot of people will say about what I do is I immerse myself into the character so they don't sit there and they think, oh, that's James doing a voice. You might recognize my voice now because you all know my voices and my characters. But hopefully when I'm doing a character, you're not just going, that's just James putting on a voice. That's the key to successful, good voice acting is immerse yourself in it, believe it yourself, and put it out there the best you can. And God willing, the right people hear it, because it still is about who you know, and it gets out there, and you can start doing voice acting. And if you don't have that ability, to get discovered by create abilities, get it out on YouTube, start writing your own stories and doing the voices for it and adding music and sound effects and learn all that. See, I know how to do all of that stuff now, so I can create. So when I make my own productions, you go to my videos on YouTube and stuff, all of that is me. That's just me. I mean, even the movie I made, Hidden Blessings, it's me and my buddy Matt. But for the most part, I did all the editing, all the sound, all that stuff. So you can do it. That's what I want to tell you today. If this little dude in a little padded room, me, at 54 can still sound like a little kid and do all these characters and do all this stuff and create a movie pretty much without any, production company behind it or anything, you can do whatever. You can do it. All right? So be inspired today and go for it. And know that there are people that believe in you. I'm going to say it again because I say it on the show all the time. I believe in you. And I can't wait to maybe get to work with some of you someday. Maybe someday one of you becomes, a filmmaker or whatever. And they go, and you call me up and they go, James, I'd like you to be, that'd be so fun for me. Because I believe in each and every one of you and your abilities. You can do it, okay? I had people in my family that believed in me, my mom, my brother, my sister. They believed in me, and they saw my abilities and they knew my talents and abilities, and that helped me. But I was not in an environment where everything was at my fingertips. I had nothing. We had nothing. We had no money. We had no, means. I went to the local radio station and I started sweeping up and hanging out and working for nothing. And then eventually they hired me and I got, work. So whatever your circumstance is, you can do this, okay? You can do it. But know that sometimes you have to take other things to pay the bills and to make it happen in order to get there, okay? So just remember that, all right? God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being on this, being on the show with me. You're on the show with me and listening to the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yes, James.
Are you ready to do that legal mumbo jumbo that's pre-recorded? And I say that to you, but it's already pre-recorded. So basically, Billy's just going to hit that button.
What do you mean this button?
No, not you, Hank. Stop it. Billy, show Hank the button to hit. Mr. Announcer Guy's voiceover that comes on for the end of the show.
And dibbity-dee and dibbity-doo.
Well, no, you're not Bob.
Well, I know, but he's my uncle.
Oh, Bob's your uncle. That's right. Oh, yes, indeed. All right. Reginald, thanks for being on the show.
Right.
Obi-Wan.
Hello there.
Yes, thank you for being on the show.
Goodbye there.
All right. Jedi Master Plo Koon.
Kotoya.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And Bob and Billy. Oh, wait, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yeah, man, I'm just waiting.
Okay. Cue it.
Talking to Myself, the James Arnold Taylor podcast is a production of Yumiko Inc., recorded at JAT Studios. Engineered, written, recorded, and produced by, you guessed it, James Arnold Taylor. All voices are parody and should be construed as entertainment only. All music and sound effects used with permissions and licenses through Backtracks, Digital Juice, Production Tracks, and Partners in Rhyme. James Arnold Taylor's Talking to Myself, the podcast. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
There you go. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for being on the show with me. Thanks for hanging out and listening. Still drink some water. Still do some deep breathing, even when we leave, okay? Love y'all. We'll see you soon. May you be blessed.
Goodbye.